Okay, how to save costs. I guess this is most people want to know, and this is the most frequently asked question, how to save costs on go to a cruise ship. Then I'll share with you on the following slides, and this is how you can actually save the cost. So before I get to that slide, it's probably good to know what is the major cost you'll be paying, major expenses you need to budget for when you go on a cruise. So I will divide it into 5 separate stuff. So the first one is you want to book the cruise. So this is the first thing you want to book, because once you book the cruise, the date is already set. Then you can go on to book the other stuff. So the first thing you need to book, of course this is the most expensive one among this item. The first you need to book for the cruise, whether you want to go to 7 days, or you want to go to 12 days or 15 days. And some of the retiree there, they stay on the cruise ship from back to back. That means when we get down, they don't go down and then they cruise some more. So they in fact stay on the same ship. And because the ship sometimes when they shift harbor, that means now like my ship, when we after our cruise, they stopped by Barcelona, and then we got down. And then after that, they are in fact not cruising the 12 days cruise anymore. They are going to cruise transatlantic. They are going to get through the Atlantic and stop and end at Miami port. So some of the American, they don't buy the ticket back home. They just take the cruise ship and go home. Go on the cruise ship. They will stay on the cruise for another 15 days, and they'll get to Miami. And then sometimes when a cruise, they from US, they go from West Coast, East Coast to West Coast. They also separate it in a different lake. Then you can actually go 3 cruise all together, and you get to go whole round of South America. And probably the whole trip will take you 45 days to 50 days. That's also something you can consider if you can take a short retirement, 1 or 2 months, and you can go on a cruise ship. You can have a enjoyable time there. So the first item is the cruise, and the second one, the biggest item, is the etiquette, because we're staying in Malaysia. If you want to fly to Europe, you fly to US, you have to spend a lot for the etiquette. So after the cruise, you book the etiquette, and then from the airport you want to go get to the cruise, you need to book the transfer. So normally, like cruise ship, they also provide the transfer service. You can book with them. It's a little bit more expensive, but it saves you a lot of hassle, because at the time you arrive at the gate there, at the time you get out of the airport, there will be people from Carnival, from the cruise operator. They will greet you and they will bring you to their bus, and you'll get to the port hassle-free. So it's very convenient. Normally I will book this. It's slightly more expensive, 30% or 40%. You can go for that. And then it's also advisable to stay at the departing or the arriving port for a few days, because when we get there, we board from Barcelona. So from the airport, we straight go to the cruise, and then after the cruise for 12 days, we stop. We got back at Barcelona, and we also stay at Barcelona for a few days. So you want to book the hotel at Barcelona for a few days. So it depends on your destination as well. And also the other expenses you want to cater for is the excursion. Excursion means when your ship is parked, or we call it dock, at certain port or harbour, you need to go down and maybe you want to go to do some sightseeing there. And they have a lot of activities, they have a lot of selection. You couldn't do everything. You just find one that is within your budget and that's more suitable to you. So this is the excursion you need to pay for as well. And I'll give you some tips of how to save on this excursion later. So these are the costs. You can see 5 items you need to pay for. So let's get to how to actually save the cost. So in order to save costs, of course, you have to plan ahead, really ahead. When you book 6 months ahead, most cruise operators, they give you the lowest price guarantee. That means if you book 6 months ahead, you'll be paying the lowest price. If let's say now is December, so you book a cruise on July, so you want to go on July, so it's 6 months ahead, and then when halfway, let's say you pay $2,000 per person for that, and then when it is in March, they have another offer, and the price is cheaper than the 2,000 you paid for. Let's say it's 1,800 only. Then you are guaranteed to get the lowest price. So just contact the operator, and then they will slash your price to 1,008. So when you book early, in fact you'll get the lowest price possible. And also, when you want to search often on the some sites that display the cruise the cruise prices. So one site I can recommend is you can go to let me pull up the site. This is a site called vacationstogo.com. I don't have any affiliate with them, but you can just go there and check the price. I'm not asking you to book with them. You can just go and check the price. Of course, if you want to book with them, also okay. You know, you can search. There's a lot of stuff here, so just take your time to go through the site vacationstogo.com, and so just check the price, and then check for the available date that you want to go. And for those American, you know, they have a lot of ports, like LA, Miami, and New York, San Francisco. They have a lot of ports that offer cruise vacation. So when they sometimes they give last minute offer just to fill up the cabins. You know, when the ship is not 100% full, they will still incur the same cost even though it's not full. So they will be slashing the price and just to get the ship full. So this is a last minute offer, but it's not applicable if you are not near to the port. So it's in fact not very applicable to Malaysians. But you might want to check out Star Cruise. Maybe they have the last minute offer as well. And there are two different ways to actually book for the cruise. So what I did is, in fact, I booked with a travel agent who specializes in cruise vacation. So this travel agent is in the US. They only book cruise vacation for their customers. So they are the agents of all the cruise available, or all the cruise operator. They are the agent of Carnival. They are agent of Norwegian, the Royal Caribbean. You know, they are the agent. So they know, they are the expert. Normally they are the expert. So when you ask them through email or through phone, they will tell you which cruise is worth going and which ship is good. You know, they will give you the advice. So this is what I go for. And the good thing is, in fact, even if you book on your own, you'll be paying the same price if you book through the travel agent who specializes in cruise vacation. And when I'm talking about travel agents specialized in cruise vacation, I'm not referring to those travel agent in Malaysia. I don't know whether we have that or not, but in Malaysia normally it's different. They are not the sole operator, you know. So they are not a sole agent who actually do that. So their price is different. So if you book from the agent from US, the price is really different. And normally they also give some extras for you. They maybe give you onboard credit, because on the ship you will spend some money, you buy some photo, you want to eat at some of the high-end restaurant on the ship, you know. So maybe you buy some souvenir and stuff. You also need to spend money on the ship, and they give you onboard credit. That means they give you some money on the ship, only can be spent on the ship. So some travel agents, they do that, they give you this. And also they are most up to date on the cruise offer available. So at any point of time, I'll just shoot that email and they will give them the date, and they will give you the possible trips that is good for you. And then another thing is, you might you need to consider the season. In fact, because we stay in Malaysia, you know, we don't have a sensitivity about seasons. It's all year long the same, raining or not raining. But in the northern globe, you know, northern hemisphere is different. They have 4 seasons, and summer is around July and August. That is the hottest time of summer. So you might want to avoid that, because they also have the summer holiday. All the schools are having holiday, and most people will go on cruise ship, on cruise vacation also. So at that time the price will be higher, because you'll because the supplies, the demand is oversupply, so the price will be different. And so you might when you go for that, also you don't want to go on a really hot summer, because in Malaysia it's already hot here. When you get there, it might be 38 degree or 40 degrees. It's too hot for you and you won't enjoy it. So the best time to go is in fact April or May or September, October. That's called the shoulder season, and it's during the transition. It's like from summer they're turning to winter, and also from like spring, from winter they're turning into summer, so you get to a spring period. So it's April, May and September. That's the best season to go on cruise on the northern hemisphere. So, and normally at that time also the price will be cheaper. And another way to save costs is don't book the excursion by the cruise operator, because you know, cruise operator, they also get a cut, they get a commission for selling the excursion to you, although the excursion is operated by the local people at the port, and you'll be paying more extra. This is what I found out after 2 cruises. You're paying maybe 50 to 100% more if you are going to go on your own. But of course, if you don't want to, you want to be hassle free, then you can just book with the cruise. But if you are more adventurous, you can just follow the guidebook, you know, go on your own, take a cab, the taxi cab, or you just go on train. In Europe they are very popular with train. You just go on the train, it's very cheap, go on the train. And in the US you can rent a car, so it's different. And in Mexico as well, they have a lot of independence excursion operator at the port. So, and of course it's also depending on the destination, the port destination. So every destination, it has different kind of thing. So you have to refer your guidebooks. So before you go on a cruise vacation, buy a guidebook that is going to show you what you can do over there and what to avoid, and how much is the taxi cab fee you will be paying. So they give you a lot of information over there. So the one I recommend for a cruise guide if you are going to Europe is let me pull up the browser and I will show you. You can go to Amazon. There's one book called it's from Steven, and then Cruise Europe Guide. See if I can find it. Yeah, this is the one. So if you are going to Mediterranean cruise, then this is the book you want to look for on cruise ports. So this is a very good book. I recommend you buy this. And yeah, just go for this one. Look at the review. Okay, let's get back to the slide. Now, refer guidebook, buy a guidebook is very useful. And the room type, whether you want a balcony or low or high deck, is different pricing, you know. Definitely, if there's a window, there's a balcony, the price will be higher than the inside cabin. Where we call inside cabin is there's no window, so it's dark. You have to switch on the light all the time. So, and also the lower the deck, the cheaper it is. But of course, there is a pro and con. The lower the deck, you will be nearer to the engine, so it might be a bit noisy. And of course, even the higher floor also is not always the best, because it might be near to the pub on the ship, or it might be noisy as well at night. It depends on your lifestyles, depending on what you want to do. So I would recommend that if you can afford it, go for balcony. If you want to save cost, just go for the inside room, because you want the tour only. Because you can still go to the highest deck and you can still enjoy the scenery without paying extra. Just don't stay in your room. But for a room with balcony, you have the option. You can just stay in your room. You have the privacy, and you still have a lot to do in the room. And there's another tips I want to give you is, when you go on your first cruise, they have the onboard booking session. They have a 1 hour session where they will introduce to you their future cruises, their latest ship, and they will give you tips on how to book what type of room is the best, you know. So when you take advantage of the onboard booking, normally they will give you extra onboard credit. They will give you $100 to spend, something like that, or they will give you the lowest price guarantee, and they will give you some discount on special cruises. And so if you are certain about your next cruise date, probably you want to check, you want to confirm that date before you go on board, and then you book it on board. Then you will save on your next cruise. Great.